Hi guys, we're Team Blockbuster, and today we're going to discuss some of the problems and solutions we have for Blockbuster, and Daniel's going to explain to the audience.
Okay, well, our audience today is the heads of Blockbuster, CEO Mr. Keys, CFO Mr. McGrill, and the head investor, Mr. Icon. So we want to get them, since they're the heads, we want to get them to probably look at these solutions and see how they can benefit from them.
And here's the video.
Hi, I'm Adiola Sucumbi.
Hi, I'm Marion Lim.
My name is Faraz Asfar.
I'm Nancy Nuttall.
Hi, I'm Daniel Mulkowski.
And we're Team Blockbuster!
Okay.
God!
All right.
When Blockbuster first began, it was a revolutionary business. Having cut deals with major Hollywood producers, they were able to get their movies 28 days before competitors. Blockbuster was a giant among those in the movie rental industry. However, Blockbuster has lost its competitive edge, and recently it has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We cannot solve all of their problems. However, we are giving some potential solutions on other methods that Blockbuster can use to reach its potential target market. Blockbuster has tried to simply imitate its competitors by fighting with Redbox for locations and trying to stream movies through conventional means such as television stations. What we are proposing is how to find new ways for Blockbuster to reach its target market.
As you may already know, Blockbuster has already lost a significant amount of market share to its competitors like Netflix and Redbox. Today we're going to be discussing 3 possible solutions for Blockbuster. The first one is going to be for Blockbuster to utilize its competitive advantage of being able to offer movies 28 days before its competitors. The second one will be to provide streaming video for hotels and airport lounges. And the final possible solution we're going to propose is for Blockbuster to provide a streaming video for hospitals as well.
Now to our first point, utilizing the competitive advantage. Blockbuster has an amazing advantage over its competitors. During its early days, they were able to make deals with many major Hollywood movie companies. These deals allowed them to receive movies 28 days before its competitors. However, this advantage has not been used to its full potential. Putting yourself in the customer's standpoint, imagine knowing you can get your favorite new release 28 days earlier from Blockbuster than you would from Netflix. This advantage is beneficial to your company because you can get products to your customers faster than your competitors. It is an indication of superior customer service because you're able to meet the needs for entertainment. This makes your company more appealing to customers. You have a wider selection of movies in comparison to your competitors, and because Blockbuster already has a large collection of physical assets, the DVDs, they can copy Netflix by using those DVDs for people who would like to have DVDs delivered to their homes. But they would also have the option to stream movies as well. Most people are not aware that your company has such an advantage over the competitors. This is detrimental to your business because this competitive advantage is an asset. This asset is not being used because the customers do not know they can get movies quicker from Blockbuster, so they don't rent.
And now to move on to our second point, streaming videos at airports and hotels. Our second point is to use streaming video at airports and hotels. Streaming in airport lounges and hotels is a good way to tap into an underserved market. There are many potential customers at airports that need this entertainment. Long layovers and missed flights can cause boredom or stress to those individuals. Giving them the option to stream movies while they wait is a good way to reach this market. However, in airports, people also have a purpose and do not want to miss their flights. Having departing flights scrolling across the bottom of the screen would make the option to stream a movie with Blockbuster during a layover more appealing to this target market. Having the streaming movies available in lounges, such as with the Delta SkyMiles Club, would also benefit the airline because they can better serve their customers by providing entertainment during a long layover. There are many consumers in hotels that also have a need for entertainment. There is a limited supply of movies that customers can rent, and most of them are outdated. Customers at hotels are good for potential target markets. Most hotel residents are business travelers or people on vacation. After a long day of work, a good movie at night can be the best way to relax, and Blockbuster can offer a wide range of movies to entertain this target market. Blockbuster can make contracts with major hotel chains that allow these hotels to stream Blockbuster films for an agreed upon price. This also creates another source of revenue for the hotels, and they can better serve their clients. By leveraging your company's competitive advantage, it would be more appealing for hotels to agree to exclusively stream Blockbuster films.
Now to our third point, streaming in hospitals. Streaming at hospitals is completely different from streaming at a hotel or airport. In those locations, people are there willingly. However, patients at hospitals did not choose to be there. Many of them are ill and cannot leave. Friends and loved ones are not always around. They need a distraction to take away from their current situation. Blockbuster can create contracts with hospitals, so the hospital can stream Blockbuster's large media library for an agreed upon price. Movies are a great way for the patients to not only be entertained, but to feel connected to the outside world. Since Blockbuster gets movies 28 days before its competitors, patients can now see movies quicker than if they were to stream it with another company. This is beneficial to hospitals because their patients will be happier and have more entertainment. The patients' minds are distracted from the current situation, and the families of the patients can also be entertained. Movies at a hospital will bring a sense of normality to the sometimes dire needs of a patient. They will feel more connected to the world and will be happier.
In conclusion, we talked about Blockbuster's problems, mainly their loss of market share. It's time Blockbuster began trying other methods to reach their target market.
Propose that Blockbuster uses competitive advantage, provide streaming videos for hotels and airport lounges, as well as provide that same streaming video for entertainment inside hospitals.
These 3 points will help Blockbuster become the dynamic company it was before.
This is not how the presentation ended. In order for me to explain what happened next, I first need to show you the original credits. By the way, the Star Wars credits were Miriam's idea. We changed the credits to be eligible for the school podcasting contest. Before class, our team came to a consensus that Farouz would cut the podcast short in order for the professor not to hear this sound at the end of the credits. Instead, Farouz stopped the podcast too soon, and the last image everyone saw was this. Oh, and one last thing. That sweet Asian family you saw earlier in the video are not Miriam's relatives. Chris Pryor then asked,
What did you find under the sheet?
It's a doll. It's actually an electronic doll.
I was
The
checking
nursing
the
department
Beth
here.
Alright.
Any serious questions?
Yeah, you said a question.
Yeah, I really like the idea about the streaming video and the hotels and the hospitals and everything, but I just had 2 comments. With everybody having the displays in their cars and everything, I didn't consider anything like Sirius Radio, like streaming to those. And then also, a lot of people have HD cell phones now, so they can watch movies on there.
Actually, Blockbuster has already started implementing using Google TV. So it's coming out for like the cell phones, the 4G.
I think it might already be out because of the ads that I saw this weekend
Yeah.
advertise that.
They're definitely doing lots of stuff with
And
it.
they were definitely plugging the 28 days earlier thing on their ads, so
Yes,
your
it's a good
suggestion
thing.
is what they're doing.
It's all Dell's hand up.
You mentioned in the video that they hadn't been using the 28 days later early. That's a great competitive advantage. They hadn't been using it to full advantage. But I've seen a couple of ads. Could you emphasize on what specifically you mean that they haven't been fully utilizing it?
As of, when we mean they haven't been using us, no one really knew about it up until recently. Up until Carl E. Ken started investing in the company, they never really said anything about the 28 days earlier thing. They've had contracts with Hollywood for numerous years, and no one knows about these 28 days earlier and the fact that you can get movies before anyone else. So we insist that they actually put that out there because, you can relatively kill off Netflix if you get movies before them.
A lot of hotels already have like on-demand movies that you can get through cable channels. So besides the whole advantage of having it like a month earlier, is that the only advantage to use Blockbuster?
Not so much. I actually stayed at a couple of these hotels that we had on the PowerPoint. And a lot of the movies there were really outdated. I actually already had some of them out on DVD. There were maybe 6 out there, and that was at the Gaylord, which is a very prestigious hotel chain, and I didn't think, I thought that they would have more. But it was a very limited selection, and it was just not movies I was interested in. They had a lot of other things that you could get that were not quite as appropriate or interesting, maybe for families on vacation.
Did you look into about like what did you guys find when it came to foreign direct investment, going into emerging markets, and also the military, since we're
Very
fighting 2
interesting
wars?
case.
I'll say it. What we found in our research with emerging markets is that they actually don't have a problem with the franchises that are in, like that Blockbuster already has. The reason why they're actually working fine overseas is because Netflix and Redbox, where it's like a mail-in service or it's like, the vending machine kind of way of doing it, that business model doesn't really work overseas because they have different laws concerning whether you can have stuff mailed to your home. So Blockbuster is actually doing fine in those emerging markets as a franchise. It's actually in the United States where they're actually losing capital, losing money.
What percentage is in the United States and overseas? Is it more overseas, or is more most of them like in the U.S.?
Most franchises are still in the U.S. The issue with these franchises in the U.S. is they're closing down because no one's really going to it. In the past, Blockbuster had this business model where they wanted to make renting a movie this like family experience where you go out and do it, and they were so confident that this experience was going to last for so long that they didn't really bother going to streaming or the Netflix thing. And now that they realize that that's obviously not what people want to do anymore, they're kind of moving towards the Netflix model, and it's just they have franchises overseas obviously, and they're doing fine, so they're not really worried about them. I want to say somewhere like I think above 70% of the franchises are in the United States, whereas the rest is overseas.
So their main issue is that they were on top and they were kind of complacent and they were looking
Yes.
to evolve and move forward.
Back in the 1990s, I think the market share between Netflix and Blockbuster was 10 to 90%, and now it's completely flopped around.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well, because I know same thing with Kmart, where they were doing very well in the past, and then they almost got complacent, and they weren't like trying to adjust to the new business model. So is that pretty much what Blockbuster did as well?
What we've noticed from the articles we've been reading, they knew streaming was going to be big, and they just kind of sat on it. They waited till Netflix got big before they decided that they should probably try streaming videos and having the DVD delivery rentals also.
So what did you find under the sheet?